Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night, as both great houses managed to maintain an outer fort hold. Uninspired by the combat, Guerrilla Town forces immediately retired for the evening. The payout line was still ongoing in Fortune's Crossing, so KOTT were able to speak with the participant about the fights. Congratulations on your victory here. Care to take us through how it went down for you?
We just need to defend our territory, so we went up there and held it down for 30 minutes.
Now, I happened to be watching what was going on with OPR Esports out in Brimstone. They were unable to get things down beyond the first two outer objectives, so was your night equally as slow for you, or were they able to get inside fort?
No, they got held outside 1 point. It was 2 points, but I think we just gave that because we don't want to go over there, so it's just 1 point B. We're chilling.
Yeah, tonight felt like a slow night. Just in the air, it didn't feel like there was as much energy as there normally would be. You know any particular reason why you think that might be?
I don't know. I think the game needs some, updates or something, man. Something needs to change.
All right. Well, you know, the Medley Fair is coming to a conclusion here next week. You got a few more days left in that. Have you been able to get everything you wanted out of that experience?
Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of pieces, like a bunch of medium pieces, heavy, light, LE Refreshing Rezo. Sorry, LE Refreshing Rezo is a broken, perk combination. That's BIS for a lot of builds, so...
Yeah, so go get your pieces, right?
I feel the PvP community loves us around the moose.
Quickly to the weather, and if it's another day, it's another chance to get your Medley Fair fishing experience gear before it's too late. On the positive note, early Doppler radar reports indicate only a 20% chance of corruption invasion tonight in Windsward and Weaver's Fen. 2 more submissions for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. With special thanks to the Craft Services crew. Up first, the Marauders of Emotional Damage attack the Covenant Converts of OPR Esports for control of the bear-infested northern forests of Brightwood. Fighting on back-to-back nights, the emotionally damaged ones fill their weekend with action by taking on another group of bears, this time in the North Woods. OPR Esports also a bit fatigued after a long battle running around in the sand last night, but back on defense in the trees, they'll only have to stand there like stumps. Then, the Marauders of Dogged Down assail the hero worshippers of Outcasts for control of the hardly controllable Restless Shore. Not exactly a smaller company, Dogged Down rush out and pressure the citizens into locking up their doors and hiding the children as they storm the coast en route to the capital city. The Outcasts, fighting every night this weekend, have to dig deep if they're to defend the citizens from the marauding forces of the island. But will they have the strength to do so? Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. Dynamic change in the history of Eternum last night as the forces of Dogged Down climb up the mud hill and dethrone the kings in the final moments on the Restless Shore. KOTT News were on the scene in Moon Bay, but Dogged Down leadership were unavailable for comment. Outcast missionaries immediately began pushing bars again and stopped to tell us about their actions.
What's up, baby?
Well, you know, I came out here to see what was going on with this fight. Were you in it tonight, or are you just here to start pushing for the rematch?
No, I was in it. Oh, well. But we're here to push for the rematch, yep. Outcast 2 gonna run it back on these hoes.
Oh, man, what happened out there in the final moments that they were able to squeeze in and take it from you?
Well, we gave that to them.
Oh, it's going to be one of those nights, huh? Give you an opportunity to run back on offense?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, how many territories can we own? We gotta let these kids have something or they're gonna quit.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go. You know, there's something to be said about that. I see you got some of the Team OPR Esports out here running it around, too, trying to get them some extra reps in, I take it.
Yeah, they'll be out there battling for this one when we get get this pushed all the way to full.
Right on, my man. Well, thanks for stopping to talk to me. Do you got anything else going on that maybe you want to tell the citizens of Eternum?
Nope, but we're back. We're kicking ass right now. We're going to keep doing it. Running up and down the street on these kids.
KOTT was able to secure a brief word from an OPR eSport representative about their fight earlier in Brightwood.
All I want to say that emotional damage did a pretty good job. It was a good war.
Oh, up in Brightwood?
Yep. It was a good war. They did a good amount of pressure. Shout out to them for growing.
Yeah, they're getting better and better each time, aren't they?
Yep. All I want to say, they're getting better and better.
An unfortunate breach in Brimstone last night following an unexpected server reset. Citizens are advised to assist in relief efforts by volunteering at the mission boards. While in Brimstone, KOTT Investigates continued to research the mystery of the ancient flute lost to time in the desert. Unlocking hidden chambers by using advanced musical theory and harmonics, KOTT news crews were able to discover something amazing. Join us tonight at 11 to find out what it is, as KOTT News brings you more on this ongoing story. In local news, the city of Oxborough has some new vigilantes in town, and they're not to be taken lightly, bub. Be they Magneto, Doc Ock, or Shredder, this group of costumed superheroes will stand ready to defend the citizens from harm. Turning to the weather, and it's looking like 2 more days of sunshine before the Medley Fair Maestro packs up shop and goes away. But if you're not into getting the last of your Medley Fair items, then maybe volunteer for the 2 invasions scheduled for later tonight. Another submission for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight. Brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it's cardboard. With special thanks to the craft services crew. If you'd like to support KOTT News, Patreon is currently the best way. Tonight, the syndicate members of Fresh Bench assail the Covenant hero worshippers of Outcasts for control of the Master Fishing Delta of Reekwater. Fresh Bench give it another go for a 4th straight attempt at the Swamp Delta of Reekwater. Perhaps this time, they'll unite the Reekwater Union of Fishermen and succeed. As for the Outcasts, they have been enjoying these encounters with Fresh Bench and look forward to another night of combat to see who comes out on top this time. We'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. A close encounter in the swamps of Reekwater last night, but in the end, the hero worshippers of Outcasts managed to hold out and retain control of the Master Fishing Delta. KOTT News were on the scene after the conflict and spoke with company leadership about the outcome. They were able to get in the fort this time. Were you a little scared on your back heels tonight?
No, not at all. It was a good war, nonetheless. I'm actually surprised they got the fort, so that's a really good sign, right? It's a good sign when we got some of these companies like looking to compete. It was a pretty fun war. But yeah, I wasn't really concerned at all, to be honest with you, John.
All right. Well, I tell you what was it, about 7 minutes that they were able to get Charlie away from you? Would you care to take us through how they were able to steal it away and then actually get in through the gates and give themselves 2 opportunities to take down the flag?
Yeah, so we kind of just shat the bed there, the point team, and I'm putting that on me because I'm a part of that point team. So we were playing at the bottom of the point a little too much, so we were kind of just letting them crash on us from the top of the point. So that's on us, right? We made our jobs harder than it needed to be. And Fresh Bench just executed better than we did right there at the end. So shout out to them for being better than us.
Excellent. Well, as I am inclined to do, was there anybody who was standing out in their performance tonight?
As always, you already know. The one, the only, the Panda Uchiha. He's a god amongst men. Like, what can we do, man? We got Panda Uchiha. With Panda Uchiha, all things are possible. I'm telling you, it's in the Bible. Look it up.
Well, a civic matter to attend to. In 2 days' time, the Medley Fair comes to a conclusion. Will you be deconstructing the temporary highway suspension bridge and stowing it away for the next event?
I have no idea what any of that means, John, but before I send you off, I do want to say one thing. And please don't cut this. Fresh Bench, you stole Cammy from me. I am coming from you. I will dismantle your company. No one steals Cammy from me. You understand that? I'm coming for your necks. I'm coming for your territory anytime that you get it. You're all dead to me. You don't touch my healers.
KOTT News crews experienced unusual ghostly phenomenon as we visited the opulent bestowment exchanges last night. No word yet on what may be causing this situation, but KOTT News crews will bring you more on this story as it develops. Quickly to the weather, and once more the sun will continue its journey across the sky, keeping corruption at bay. But it wouldn't be a night of excitement in Eternum if invasions didn't pop up after sundown across 30% of the island. 2 roster submissions for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it's cardboard, with special thanks to the craft services crew. Up first, the syndicate members of JDB's Kitchen attack the marauders of Gorilla Town for control of the arid desert region of Brimstone Sands. The big bruiser matchup of the night pits the island's syndicate authority against the controlled anarchy of lawful chaos. But will regional stability become a factor? The fighting grounds of the desert were already plagued with mobility issues for those unfamiliar with the terrain. But with the added impact of recent improvement attempts, it could be anyone's fight. Meanwhile, the Covenant converts of Farmed Off Fresh assail the marauders of Dogged Down for control of the mud hill of the eastern Restless Shore. Farmed Off Fresh return to the Restless Shore for another go at claiming the keep. But will they fare any better against the marauders who reign as kings now? The anarchy in the archipelago continues for Dogged Down, who only just captured the region 2 nights ago. But such is the state of perpetual combat on the muddy and mist-covered beaches of the east. We'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. Breaking news this morning as the mysterious island madman known as Rafflebones goes from skittish lurker to aggressive invader. Scientists speculate that Rafflebones may be infused with spice, and in this state, his leaking madness may be responsible for the recent reports of psychedelic hallucinations. Is this more potential backlash from the overproduction of spice in the southern peninsula, resulting in the loss of Old First Light? Citizens are advised that Rafflebones appears to be more nuisance than threat, but KOTT News will bring you more on this story as it develops. Dynamic change in the history of Eternum last night as the forces of JDB's Kitchen secure the high desert of Brimstone Sands. Company leadership were unavailable for comment as many exhausted members called it an early night. A close one in Restless Shore as Dogged Down forces hold off the Covenant inside the fort. KOTT News crews were on the scene and spoke with Dogged Down leadership about the fight. The offense tonight was unable to complete their mission against you, able to keep them, prevent them from taking the flag, though you were not able to prevent them from getting in the fort. Would you care to take us through any pivotal moments you felt you had out there tonight?
Well, I mean, we got kind of bored, so we let them have B point, and then we thought that wasn't enough, so we gave them the last point. And we were hoping that we can get something good going in forward, which was actually a little bit more fun, but they just couldn't capitalize it. I mean, obviously, because we just wake up in the morning, we piss excellence, right? So,
well, you should probably see a urologist about that. Well, I'm glad to see that you're starting to get the level of excitement that you're hoping for. This is the second time you've encountered this particular company. Do you think that they're improving on their skill set since last time you fought each other?
well, I mean, what is commendable about this company is they try not to use too many mercs. So I got to give it to them on that aspect of the war. But yeah, I can see improvement from them, and just a couple more tweaks and on a macro level, I believe they can be something pretty special on the server.
Excellent. Well, we'll be keeping an eye out for that then. I see the studio audience here agrees with your assessment. Was there anybody out on your team tonight that might have outperformed themselves in their efforts?
Yeah, if you take a walk with me over here.
All right.
This man right here, Alex. Hey, where is he? Okay, he left. But let me get closer to you again. Yeah, he really outperformed himself. He just held upright like a monster.
Turning to the weather for today, and it appears that the sun will manage to rise and shine as it routinely does once again. Citizens not investigating the Rafflebones incursion should be on the alert for standard corruption invasions across 20% of the island. No submissions for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight, brought to you by Peace, but we'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night as Rafflebone sightings escalate across Eternum. The Southern Observation Post in Spyglass Ridge continues to link Rafflebones to spice sources radiating from Old First Light. Rafflebones isn't the only guy popping up out of nowhere, as KOTT Crib's production staff found out firsthand while filming their latest episode. And I want to stand up and move around a little, so it doesn't time me out. Oh!
Oh, there goes Leo, died soul.
Just like that, he just kind of showed up out of nowhere.
Run out.
Just as I turned on the cameras. We saw it, ladies and gentlemen, wickedly. I witnessed it. These ghosts do just appear. Yes.
Oh my God. Running. I mean, he hit the ground running. Now, how do I know that he don't have my prized possession in his pocket?
So,
what if he hurt my puppy?
He came running out of your house. Must have come running out of there with something, right? So you got to go in there and investigate, see if he's taken anything, and you want to report a stolen item.
They were in my room, John. John, get up here now.
I'm coming up.
Get this on camera.
I'm coming.
They didn't take something, they left something.
Is that a note?
Look, that is a note on my bed.
Well, what's it? Wait, should we get somebody here to like a forensics team? Who's the local constable?
I ain't touching it. I'm not touching it. I'm not getting my fingerprints on it. And what if that has some kind of stuff on it? Where's the cops?
Trustworthy. Let's get Dr. Theophrastus Bombastus involved. He'll know what to do if it's got some chemicals on it. He's more than just bear urine.
All right, where is he?
KOTT News will seek out the island's preeminent scientist and bear urologist, Dr. Theophrastus Bombastus, to bring you more on the story at 11. No wars last night meant a light evening in assisting new refugees to the island, starting first with a quick run through Tempest, then by helping this new refugee to the island that marauding companies should keep an eye out for. Welcome to the island, my friend. What is your biggest ambition now that you're here? What do you want to hope to accomplish?
I would like to be able to kick some butt for the Marauders.
All right. You heard them, Marauders. This guy's here to kick butt for you. Turning to the weather for today, and it's going to be a doozy for dealing with the crazed lunatic Rafflebones all afternoon. But try not to let them distract you from volunteering tonight when the island experiences an unexpected 40% chance of invasion across the northern rim. One lineup submitted for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it's cardboard. With special thanks to the Craft Services crew. If you'd like to support KOTT News, Patreon is currently the best way. Tonight, the Marauders of Emotional Damage attack the Covenant converts of OPR Esports for control of the bear-infested deep forests of Brightwood. Emotional Damage reset and try again, confident that some rest, coupled with the experience of their last fight in the forest, should be enough to overcome the defense and claim the castle. But OBR Esports have held them off before, and channeling the strength of the bears, plan to do so again. But will random rafflebones on the battlefield become a factor in the outcome? Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the history of Eternum last night, as OPR Esports keep control of the castle in the northern forest of Brightwood. And the Marauders of Dogged Down managed to maintain the citadel on the Restless Shore despite the enemy gate breaches. KOTT News were on the scene in Moon Bay and spoke with company leadership en route to look at VODs. Congratulations on your victory out here in Restless Shore. They were able to get into the fort and fight with you for about 10 minutes, but hold on to it, you did. Would you care to take us through how they were able to get in and how you were able to keep them out?
Oh man, outside fort was a struggle. Our weak side felt a little weaker than normal. They were just shoving into our road nonstop. It was just an endless fight. Even on strong side, they were wrapping over to us, and just constant scuffles. But we held outside decent, given the circumstances. They had a really strong outside. Fort phase was a lot of fun. We held the gates pretty damn well. I was on Seagate. Our Seagate anchors were just crushing it. Got a little scary towards the end, though, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they did get a little bit of tick there, but hold out at the end you did. So anybody out there who might have stood out in the high-pressure moments there?
Yeah, man, I don't know what his in-game name is. Oh, man, he was a last-second Merc pickup from Fresh Bench, and he was in my group, and me and him were just really bouncing good comms off each other. Absolutely. I think he fragged out with top frags in the war with 31. I just got a report of the guy's name that we marked. It was Surcute. Surcute, all one word, Surcute. He was a last-second Merc pickup from Fresh Bench. That guy is a beast. A good pickup there. Me and him played really well off each other for never playing together.
Well, have you had any reports of Rafflebones incursions here in the Restless Shore over the last couple days?
You know, I've heard of some sightings. I haven't seen anything myself yet, so I don't know if it's just made up stories like a Bigfoot type scenario, or if that guy's really just starting to show his face out of nowhere.
Oh no, I can assure you, I have personally witnessed him multiple times. So I'm out here diligently trying to get reports from other regions. High indications are in Windsward around Cutlass Keys, so we're trying to figure out if it's emanating from First Light or not. So if you see any, let me know. A full hold last night across all 4 fronts as the all-volunteer invasion response squad holds off the enemy throughout the night. Diligent efforts by viewers like you aid in keeping the infrastructure robust for the citizens to enjoy on a daily basis. Turning to the weather for today, and you'll see the sun will show up once again to warm up the afternoon. And after last night's beatdown, the corruption invasion forces of the island will only peak out across roughly 20% of the land. Another submission for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. Tonight, the Covenant hero worshippers of Outcasts assail the Marauders of Gorilla Town for control of the mosh pits of the southern Cutlass Keys. The Outcasts take advantage of the chaos of Rafflebone sightings around Spyglass Ridge and offer an organized alternative to the constant Marauder mayhem. Gorilla Town, pushed back into the isolated tip of the island where it all started, renew their dedication to achieving greater success by overcoming constant adversity. Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. Breaking news in Spyglass Ridge as the Covenant hero worshippers of Outcast cast out the Marauders of Gorilla Town. Simulated combat participants gathered immediately on the steps of City Hall to collect their tithings. KOTT News were able to speak with some of the participants about the momentous occasion.
Hey, what's up, man?
Well, I'm just out here reporting on all the action. Gorilla Town no longer a factional force on the island.
But yeah, man, Gorilla Town, it's unfortunate. They died recently, as you may have heard. Pharmaceuticals is merging with Gorilla Town, so hopefully, this merge works well, and Gorilla Town becomes stronger for some competition on the server. Outcast, Gorilla Town, some of the best rivalries on West Coast El Dorado. Of course, JDB is always going to be on top, but these second company wars, man, with Outcast and Gorilla Town are always going to be there and fire.
3 wars, Hideouts beats JDB.
Oh, look out. Do you think Hideouts is going to beat JDB, the crowd said?
3 wars. 3 wars.
100%. Give Hideouts 2 more wars. Let me take control of leadership, and JDB will be ground to dust.
I'll shot call.
Oh, my goodness. I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to the Syndicate Powerhouse. Here
3
they
wars
come.
before we disband.
Yep.
Oh, you're just going to hit and run, huh? Prove your point and then break up the band.
Yes, sir.
While in Cutlass Keys, KOTT News continued to investigate the possible connection between Rafflebones and First Light. Yes, Rafflebones. JChalant, KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. Can you tell us how you came to be coming through these portals and invading the land? No comment. Rafflebones, please. Sir, you appear to be leaking madness all over Eternum. Rafflebones, are you aware of who you are and where you are, sir? And is that dynamite strapped to your back? Care to answer any of our questions for us, sir? Rafflebones, are you at all connected to Adiana Theron? Is she sending you out here? That's a turkey. Okay, all right. Well, what's going on over this way? Rafflebones, I understand that many citizens of Eternum are summoning you out of your portal, letting you running around, so that when other citizens come up to chit-chat with you, you suddenly explode. Is there any truth to that? Did he say no? Citizens are advised to use extreme caution against Rafflebones, who appears to be infused with spice, and in his madness will blow up. Back to you in the studio, JC. Turning to the weather, and it seems like the summer heat is starting to give way to more and more daily cloud cover. A brief reprieve from the heat of the summer, though, as the evening returns and the workloads begin anew with a light chance of corruption. One lineup submitted for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it's cardboard. With special thanks to the Craft Services crew. If you'd like to support KOTT News, Patreon is currently the best way. Tonight, the Covenant converts of OPR Esports assail the Marauders of Dogged Down for control of the nearly uncontrollable Restless Shore. OPR Esports return again to give it another go after a couple days' rest, looking up from the bottom of the mud hill at the challenge above them. Dogged Down, representing the Marauders out there tonight, have to maintain their hold on the Citadel to keep the faction from falling from the map. We'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.